A few months ago, I started selling my first online course to my small community, and we're just gonna get straight into the financial numbers. Here were the realistic financial results from the first 60 days or the first 2 months. In January, I made $816.79, and in February, I made another $816.79, which brings me to a total of about $1,633 from the first 2 months. Now, you might be thinking, wow, Nicole, that is so low. What are you doing? Or you might be like, wow, that is so cool how you can make money online just like that. I am all for the latter, and I'm gonna be sharing with you why this is so amazing. Imagine teachers in school. They have to teach the same subject every year, every single semester, and they have to commit their time, energy, their physical presence to show up and teach different groups of students. But with digital courses, you just need to teach and record yourself once, and then anyone can buy and learn from you from anywhere at any point in time. With that said, digital courses are very scalable. Once you create it once, your profits increase and your costs decrease as each person buys it. And if we're talking business, courses have a very high profit margin, which means that costs are very low. Think about it. I don't have a physical product I have to buy or create or physically store to then ship and mail out. But beyond all the logical reasons, I have always wanted to create a course on holistic confidence because this is a topic that truly hits home with me. This is in full alignment with how I want to show up, how I want to help other people, and it truly delights me to be able to use my skills, knowledge, my experiences to help people accept their shadows, to overcome their fears and self-doubt, and tap into inner freedom and peace within themselves. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can do the same, my exact process within the 60 days, the downsides to creating courses, and then we'll wrap it up with my learnings, takeaways, and just common mistakes I see people make. Now, you can sell courses online through 2 different ways. The first is through an existing platform that acts like a marketplace for courses. So it's kind of like an Amazon for courses. I'm talking about Udemy, Coursera, Skillshare, Etsy. The great thing about these platforms is they invest in the marketing. So they draw in the course buyers, and all you really have to focus on is SEO, which is optimizing your keywords so that people can actually type it in and find your course, as well as deliver an amazing course so people leave great reviews, and that creates more buyers. Now, the second route here is to sell through your own reputation, your personal brand, your own community. And this was the route I personally took because I already had an existing platform. Now, here's my simplified process in a nutshell. It all started in December when I decided I really wanted to teach a course on confidence. Now, the next step I took was I started sharing this idea to my community. Notice how I used the term idea. I didn't immediately go off to start creating this course from scratch after downloading this idea. Instead, I shared the idea to test it out, to experiment and see if someone would be willing to pay money for this course. Now, this is so important because you don't want to spend all your time and energy creating this course that nobody actually would want to pay for. Now, I focused on sharing my idea through 2 different platforms. The first was email, where I sent an email to my email list of about 270 subscribers for 30 days. And no surprise there were people who were not digging my thoughtful spam I was sending, so that dropped my email list to about 230 subscribers. And for my Instagram, I shared pretty consistently about this idea through my Instagram stories and then occasionally on my Instagram feed as well. Now, the next super important step here was I shared about this course idea in so many different ways. Remember, we are testing things out here. There is no one correct way to speak about your course and expect people to immediately get it, to buy in right from the get-go. We all have different experiences, different thoughts, different journeys, and we're on different points for our own journey. And because of this, I shared about this course from so many different ways. I shared about how these skills could really help them, how these skills have really helped me. I shared my own experiences and the credibility built up. I shared my personal stories, interesting insights, surprising insights, and eventually someone paid me. And once that money hit my bank account, that was when I started getting to work creating the real deal. All right, courses sound so amazing and all, but what is the catch? Like, what are the downsides? Since there's so many people in this content information industry, there's a lot of people out there, which means there's a ton of courses out there as well. Don't forget, there's free content, there's ChatGPT, and I like to call these courses no-name courses because they don't really have a brand attached to them as they are on these websites. So if you're selling on these platforms, then you're gonna face a lot of direct competition with other courses, and that is gonna drive your prices down a lot more. You also have to pay a fee for these platforms because they do the hosting, they do the marketing for you, so you don't have to do it. Now, if you're selling it through your own reputation, your own community, you will face way less of these no-name brand competitors, and you'll have more power over your prices because you do have a brand. But keep in mind, there's still a lot of people out there with their own brands and their own branded courses. The downside here is you have to be extra patient with building an aligned community and experimenting, refining your marketing. This is gonna take a lot more time to do that trust building. Keep in mind that while it took me 60 days to sell this course, I've already built a certain level of trust through my platforms on YouTube, podcast, Instagram, my emails. And by the way, you don't have to be on all these platforms. I was on one platform on Instagram for the first 2.5 years, and that worked just fine for me. I was still able to sell my coaching services, masterclasses, and workshops. All right, now let's get into the juice. Let's talk about what I've learned, takeaways, and common mistakes I see people make. First things first, you have skills, experiences, wisdom, all within you right now that can tremendously benefit someone else's life. Yeah, you. What I see usually hold people back is their confidence and belief in themselves. Unfortunately, I often see people's confidence become shaken up by a negative, pesky little comment that's coming straight from their own brains. And that's why doing the thought work, the belief work is so important to get really aware of the thoughts you're telling yourself, the thoughts you're feeding yourself, and start rewiring those thoughts and beliefs. If you want to learn more, I share more about it in my free confidence masterclass, and I go way more in depth in my course called The Confidence Code. Both of these are going to be linked in the description box below. You also want to focus on your own credibility. For my confidence course, I focused on my own confidence journey of being someone who is so shy and so afraid to be on social media to now someone who is openly sharing herself on social media. I'm expressing myself, I'm even creating income streams online. And to make this course extremely unique to me, this course was also an integration of mind, body, emotional work. It also encompasses leading a very holistic, healthy lifestyle, as well as talking about social media. It was very specific to my skills, and that felt really good to me. I didn't feel like an imposter sharing this, like I really could back this. So make sure you really narrow in on your own credibility and go specific if you need to go there. My next tip is to approach this with a curious, experimental mentality. It's not gonna work if you have a perfect plan and strategy laid out. You've gotta be flexible, you've gotta be curious. So many people don't get curious. They hear crickets and they automatically assume that people just don't like them, people are judging them, people are finding them annoying, and they immediately just give up. Instead of wondering, did I explain this in a very simple way that people could understand? How can I share with them the importance of this skill? How can I better understand what other people are looking for? For the first few weeks, I would literally spend 45 minutes to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, writing up emails, and I would hear nothing back. But I kept going, I kept experimenting, and I trusted that whatever happened at the end of this experiment, I would always get something from it. I would at least, the very least, learn something from it. And guess what? People ended up being interested and they bought in. The third learning I had was that you can do whatever you want. You can sell whatever you want, no matter what other people say, even if they are professionals or they are more experienced than you. Business coaches in this industry would have said that I was making a really bad move here because I don't have a huge established audience or a huge established business to be able to profit immensely from a course. But honestly, my intention with this course is A, this is a great low-priced offer for those people who can't afford my higher-priced offers to still gain value from me so I can still be accessible. B, this is also a gateway for people to get a taste of what it might look like to work with me should they be interested. Or someone might just love the course and want to go deeper and start working with me. Otherwise, I genuinely wanted to create this course so that it is now accessible on my website for anyone who feels called to do that work. Y'all don't understand how lit up, so happy I was creating this course, even though it took me several months. I've probably put in 66 hours of work into this, not including the marketing, and I'm so proud of it. It feels like a masterpiece that is now up there, ready to serve up anyone who feels called to learn more. My next tip here is do not forget about the last minute people. There are so many last minute people out there, and I'm gonna raise my hand. I am sometimes a last minute person, and think about it. We're all such busy people. We have so many things we wanna do, and so we have to prioritize. We usually prioritize what is due today or in the next few days. So there was no real surprise when I didn't really hear anything within the first few weeks, but the day before the course started, there were people jumping in, and even after it started, there were people buying in. But these people would have never joined if I didn't remind them of the course. So that means you have to keep showing up, you have to keep reminding people. I used to think you need hundreds of thousands of people to be able to make money online. But there's a reason why there's people with big followings who struggle to sell a low-priced offer or product versus people with a smaller aligned community that contribute to a six-figure, multiple six-figure, seven-figure business. It's not about attracting a big audience of anyone, but attracting an aligned community of people who see the value you give and are willing to pay you for that. Too many people are focused on growing their communities, growing their audience, rather than serving their current people. Now, my last tip here is to extract your unique, deep wisdom. In this online content space, there's more and more people coming in, but guess what? The content is looking more and more similar because we're all following each other and we are consciously or unconsciously copying each other's content as well. People are sounding more similar, they're not standing out, and they're not giving the best value they can give. I really believe you gotta sit your butt down to reflect and really extract all the wisdom, the value, the thoughts, opinions, everything that you have within you and share them from this place because people can tell when you're half-assing something, when you're just copying someone else. Unfollow, mute, stop consuming other people's content and instead focus on the intelligence you already have in here between your ears. I actually had a returning client. They said they were buying this course because the past workshop I did a year ago delivered so much value, they trusted this would also give a lot of value. Now, before we wrap up here, I know a lot of people say to sell courses because it's a great way to sell to thousands of people, make a bunch of money, get some passive income. But I say focus on that one person who's gonna get so much benefits from your course. Because even if it's one person's life, that's a huge deal. This is just the start for my course. This confidence course is timeless, it's classic, it's evergreen. It's not just a trendy fad topic that's gonna die out. Like people will still wanna learn about confidence in a few months, in a few years. And so here is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue consistently talking about this course and I will keep you posted in 1 year's time how this course progresses. I hope this video helped you understand how simple it can be to sell your skills online to help people even with a small community. Thank you so much for tuning in and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.